So welcome back to Boys on Film. We're talking about another film which has been screened at the BFI Flare LGBTQ Film Festival in London. We've had a fantastic time. My name is Phil. I'm joined by Raj Rudolph. Today we're talking about Departures, a comedy drama film from directors Neil Ely and Lloyd Eyre-Morgan, and it stars Lloyd Eyre-Morgan as well. The first thing that you said when you came out was that was quite a laddie movie, which is quite interesting because I thought actually it did tackle that whole kind of culture, that whole kind of toxic masculinity culture. But anyway, let's talk about the story. So Benji meets Jake at an airport checkout gate, is immediately intrigued. Jake is fit, elusive, dominant, and as Benji happily suspects, a bit gay. Cue monthly getaways to Amsterdam, a lot of sex and the creeping emergence of a doomed power dynamic. It's a Manchester-made feature, self-funded by a collective of working-class LGBT plus filmmakers. So Raj, interesting movie to talk about, I think.
Yeah, I like you said, I thought going into the film, especially like the first 10 minutes of it, it's going to be a very gay laddie type of film, and that kind of immediately turns me off. But as you start to get into the film more, I start thinking, wait, I think this is kind of like gay train spotting, not necessarily with all the drug use. There's a total
there is a bit of that. Quite a bit of drug use, actually. I mean, there's a lot of sex as well, but yeah, there's definitely drugs.
I think it's just the editing. I think as it starts out kind of really hardcore, and then it gets a bit softer throughout when the relationships start to blossom or the complications from the relationship start to bubble to the surface. At the end, I quite liked it. Yeah, I'd watch it again. It's a very sexy laddie movie, though.
I think that's the point, isn't it? Because I think there's that whole kind of thing with the gay scene where obviously it's split into different categories. You've got different sections, haven't you? You've got like a bear section, you've got like a twink section. I mean, particularly in, club culture, you've got those divisions. It's what you're attracted to as well. So I think this film does a really good job of covering that, and obviously covering the toxic masculinity thing as well, because I mean the obvious train spotting references are there because of the way it's made, like you say, the editing at the beginning, especially. You've got that voiceover storytelling and the graphics on the screen that are introducing the characters as they come into the story, and it's quite deadpan as well. The comedy is quite sarcastic at times, but deep beneath it there is quite a beating heart actually in this, and I was quite impressed by it. I think it's a really confident piece of work.
I think a lot of people will like it just because it is very funny. It's very smart, but it's also very tender too. So at the end, although I had a bit of trepidation in the beginning, but in the end, it kind of won me over. It kind of made me also miss the days of, the £1 Ryanair flights that you would just book and, this weekend I'm going to go on a little adventure by myself because it only cost me 20 quid. Because there's a lot of, I think that's why they call it departures, because there's a lot of going away on holiday to have your debaucherous gay life abroad and not at home,
Well, that also taps into the whole secrecy thing as well, because obviously Benji's seeing this guy, is it Jake? Jake, who's the guy that he falls for, and there is a reason why they keep booking into that apartment in Amsterdam like on a monthly basis, because it turns out to be really regular. I mean, I don't know whether a lot of this is semi-autobiographical either. There were some really interesting characterizations about Benji as well, particularly not just because he was really open in this film as a character, telling the story, but also because he's really honest about him having body issues. There's a scene where Jake says, I don't care about that, because obviously Jake is quite fit and, goes to the gym and he's really toned. But Benji doesn't see himself as that kind of person. So, he's obviously quite, not introspective, but he's very analytical of himself and how he looks. And that, that is one thing that is really important on the LGBT scene, isn't it? Because it comes down to appearance, and I suppose with social media, everyone's on social media trying to fit into that ideal as well, and trying to be as good as the person that they're looking for.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
There's a couple of people actually that I've been chatting to on Instagram. I've got to give a shout out because it's Lloyd, who's obviously the screenwriter and the co-director and the star of this film, and also Anthony Crank, who I don't know if you noticed from Coronation Street. He had a cameo. He played a scary dom who Benji cops off with really briefly. It's one of the opening scenes, isn't it? Is to all the relationships that he's had, whether they've been like lasting relationships or really brief ones or failed cop-offs, if you like. So I've got to say hello to Anthony and Lloyd, obviously, who's come up with this film. I think it's really funny and playful, and the end credits as well. There's a section at the end which won't ruin it for people that are watching this that haven't actually seen it.
It is really the cherry on top of the movie. Just like any Marvel or DC movie, you have to stay for the end credits scene.
Also really tongue-in-cheek though as well. I mean, it's a total piss take, but very funny. A high-spirited way, I think, to end this film. Because there are a lot of dark moments. I mean, let's not forget, there's a lot of potentially triggering scenes in this film with regards to searching for sex, but not realising the darkness that comes with that, and the drugs as well. There's some really disturbing moments in this. I'm not going to say it's completely comedy, because it's not. It does touch. It's not scared of touching on those dark moments. But there is a lot of humour. Don't be put off the fact that obviously there's a lot of darkness, because it's just obviously very honest. So star rating then, Raj. What are you going to go for?
Oh, this is a tough one. I would probably say 3 because I liked it, but I didn't love it. But if we're doing between a 3 and a 4, it'd probably be a 3.
It did win you over, though. Like you said, you thought it was going to be one film, and it turned out to be actually more clever than that.
Yeah, it did. I'll give him that.
I'm not trying to upgrade your score. I mean, I'll go for 4, but...
Well, you go for 4, I'll go for 3, and then that averages out to 3.5, and I think that's the appropriate score.
There we go. I haven't got a release date, obviously, at the moment, because it's just doing the festival circuit at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the playlist, which is above us. And I'll see you on the next one, Raj.
See you on the next one.
It's up there.
It's up there. Okay.